Here for Am I Rich, and today we're doing 3 stocks they watched for the month of May. Yes, this is 3 stocks that financial YouTubers were watching back in 2018 and how they've done up to 2019, so for the month of May. And I picked 5 people from financial YouTube channels that had 3 stocks to watch videos, and we're going to kind of compare those. Now the way I picked these, I picked them basically the winner of last month's. So we have CyberWorld7 up here. He won last month's 3 stocks to watch video. Then we have Financial Education, which is probably one of the more inspirational financial education or financial YouTube channels, and one of the most well known, so he's up there. And then we have these other ones that I think have done really well, and there may be others that have done better or worse. I'd love to know if you find or think of any others. Feel free to mention them. These YouTubers, I'm going to put them in the description below, so if you want to find out about what their channels are, or if you haven't heard of them, feel free to go down there to look for it after you hit the subscribe button. Anyways, so honestly, let's get to it. So the way this breaks down is basically if somebody had purchased the stocks that they mentioned at the beginning of May, we would see how they progressed from the beginning of May to the first week, for the short term, then to 1 month because it's the month of May, so we want to see how well it did over the month of May, and then to the first quarter. That's usually when stocks change, so maybe things would have changed, and then to half a year, and then to now, just to kind of get a sense. And yeah, let's go through it. So our picks that we have right now, there's CyberWorld7, Financial Education, then below that we have JKR Investing. I think he's kind of an under the radar channel at the time of filming this. I think he's got like just over 200 subscribers, which is better than me, but anyways, but with only 200 subscribers, I think he does a very consistent picking, and he might be a very underrated channel. So and he's been doing quite well in some of these 3 stocks to pick videos. So I just thought I'd throw him out there as an interesting pick. Now the other one is Twin Finance. So Dylan from Twin Finance, also kind of a less known channel maybe, but still maybe a little bit more known. But anyways, I think he's also got some decent picks sometimes. And then Positive Investing, which was on our last one, also he does pretty good breakdowns of different videos. So yeah, how did they do? So the first week we look at their result, and yes, I know what you're thinking. Keith, you've done great with your props. You've spent all. I know. I even reused. I'm trying to save the environment, I guess, in this video. I'm reusing the 2 sheets of paper I had from last video. So yeah. So after 1 week, how did they do? Well, Positive Investing was up at top. He was already at 9.4% after the first week. So that's pretty good in 1 week. The next up is JKR, 5.3%, and then Financial Investing was at 2.9%, followed by Twin Financing 1.7%, and then CyberWorld7, unfortunately, he was in the negative. Now, Positive Investing, his picks, he had 3 picks. One was Wayfair, ticker symbol W. They're like an online furniture company. Hershey's, the people who make like Hershey Kisses, and then PepsiCo, makers of the cola drink Pepsi and Doritos. So yeah, he did really well. Great pick for him. So if you invested 1 week, looks pretty good. Now we move to 1 month. So this was the whole month of May. You can see now we have everybody's at 0 or above. The Positive Investing choice is at 15.2%. So in 1 month, 15.2%, that's pretty good. There's a little dashed line in here. This is the S&P, the kind of break point. After 1 month, the S&P did like 3.3%. So anything above that is pretty good. And yeah, JKR still in second place. Twin Finance went above. Twin Finance, he had some, I don't know, interesting picks. He had this SIG, which is, I think, Signet, like, jewelry company. They own like Zales and a few other big jewelry companies in the United States. He also had L Brands, and Apple. Apple was actually one of the big, Apple and I think a couple with Facebook. Those were the big common picks in people's 3 Sucks to Watch videos back in May 2018. And honestly, I mean, Apple's done well. Warren Buffett bought Apple at like $140 some, and you know, it encourages other people to follow. Facebook has a great looking future, so not too surprising. Then if we go to the 3-month mark, so this is after a quarter. Now after a quarter, this is when companies start to release, you know, maybe they didn't release financials specifically at 3 months this time, but that's kind of the interval that you would see people learn about new financials in the company or new things happening. So this is really where things start to change. And what we have is positive investing. Nick, he was up at 28.3 by the 3-month mark. 28.3% is not shabby at all. I mean, some people would be happy with that in a year for sure. Same with Twin Financing, 20.5. Very, very interesting. Then you had JKR. He dipped just slightly, very, very steady. I mean, 10.1 to 9.9, not a big difference. His picks, pardon me, his picks were Apple, Microsoft, and Facebook. That sounds like a very stable kind of blue chip kind of company pick. But yeah, you did pretty well. And then financial education, still above the S&P 500 at the time. Cyberworld 7 dropping down to minus 9.5. So not looking good at all. His picks were ACB, SMG, and GE. GE, if people haven't heard, did really poorly over the last year, so probably not the best part of his picks. But yeah, then if we go to, all the way over to half a year, positive investing still out there, in first. And with 25.9, Twin Financing moving up to 25.7, and financial education actually bumped up to 20.4, which is pretty good. And Jeremy at financial education, his picks were Apple, Walmart, and Tesla. And actually, Walmart he thought was likely to go down, but it hasn't. It's gone up. And so just an interesting kind of pick there. And then if we move to the very end, this is as of now. We're filming this, I think April 22nd at night. So basically we're at a point where positive investing, Nick, he has smashed it out of the park, 61%. So that is really amazing. His best pick was ticker symbol W, which is Wayfair. That is, it went up 126.9% to date, after hours to date. So that's a really great pick. Plus his other picks were over, 28%, 27% for Hershey and PepsiCo. So pretty good returns. He just started out of the gate fast and just hung on with those picks from May. So way to go for Nick. And then after that, we had JKR pop back up into second place. Now remember, between 6 months and a year now, we had that kind of big financial dip at the end of 2018. So a lot of stocks crashed and then kind of bounced back. And so you see kind of a drop in a lot of these people's performances. And the S&P was probably, it went up to, I think, 9.8% over the year so far. So yeah, those two are above it. Jeremy from Financial Education is pretty close to it. Remember, he picked Walmart as probably a sell, although that was one of his positive ones. So his negative one was Tesla, and Tesla's had some pretty shaky news as of late, and it's pretty much had up and down, you know, a very volatile kind of stock overall, and hasn't really gone anywhere within that range. So just depending on when you pick it, I think. And then yeah, Twin Financial, unfortunately his jewelry company really tanked as of late and hasn't recovered. I guess people think, you know, if there is a recession on the way, jewelry is probably not the place to invest in. So interesting. He had pretty interesting picks, but yeah, over a year it's not the best. But yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you guys think there are any good investments that these 5 YouTubers picked? Or do you think there's better ones out there? Feel free to let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'm just doing this. I mean, I want to inform people about, you know, how the YouTubers are doing. I don't want you to pick your own stocks necessarily directly from them, but they're always, it's interesting to find out who's good, because then you can maybe find somebody who is a good inspiration to look at their stock picks to start researching. Anyways, other than that, I do this just for fun. I'm, you know, not trying to start a financial like course or anything like that. So feel free to subscribe if you like this, or if you like just random stock videos. Other than that, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you in the next video.